This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you an exclusive interview with Justice ARUN Mishra, NHRC Chairperson, on the occasion of Human Rights Day, Dignity, Freedom and Justice for All. The interviewer is Rajesh Lake, AIR correspondent.
Every year, Human Rights Day is celebrated on December 10. It commemorates the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by the UNGA in 1948. Human Rights Day focuses on the fundamental rights and liberties to which all people worldwide are entitled simply by virtue of their humanity. It celebrates and advocates for rights that transcend nationality, gender, ethnicity, race, sexual orientation, religion or any other distinction. We have with us Justice ARUN Kumar Mishra, Chairperson, National Human Rights Commission. Sir, we would like to know from you why the need for us to have the Human Rights Day on December 10.
Actually, there was a necessity for formation of uniform declaration for the entire world. Humans are born equal. Human rights are not new. They were existing right from the day the man was born on earth. He came with certain rights and certain balances with the environment and nature. And those rights were prevailing since long in different forms. But with the time when kingdoms were there, some kings were there in various countries, there were different systems, different kind of discrimination were there, and socio-economic problems were also different. In order to give a common minimum shape to the basic human rights, it was considered by all the countries together of United Nations, and they deliberated upon it for 2-3 years, and at least 1400 votings took place on each and every human right which was included in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. India also participated in that, and basically Jiva Mehta suggested that instead of man born equal, expression should be that all human born equal. She fought for gender equality, which is deeply embedded in Indian culture and philosophy. We have been respecting women right from beginning and giving them rights, and they were very respectful and dignified in our culture. Woman has been given always a very high pedestal. But unfortunately, with time, the discriminatory practices came in the form of various customary practices, maybe some on the basis of under guise of certain religious practices. They are not being given equal rights, and this year motto of United Nations is that justice for all, freedom for all, and then equality. Unless we give this dignity, justice, and freedom for all, I feel that we are not achieving the goal if we discriminate women in any sector, inheritance, or to say place of domicile, parental rights, or any other right. They should be equal partner. They are human, born with equal rights. And woman gives the birth to the man. This will be male chauvinism if the woman there of the entire world under any of the practices or customary practices are denied right of equality. That is denial of the basic fundamental right of a human. And discrimination on the basis of gender is not at all permissible. And wherever it exists, it should go.
So you started off by saying that human rights have been prevalent since the genesis, or rather the day when the man came into being. So yes. Since then, human rights are going on. So am I right in saying that we observe this day as a guidepost for all nations so that they meet the basic human needs, whether it's socio-economic or political? So it serves as a guidepost?
Definitely. Our constitution also is speaking for the need-based justice, one whose basic needs are not being fulfilled. It is a welfare state's obligation to provide him the food, to provide him the shelter. That is called the distributive justice concept. That is need-based concept or equity-based concept. So once these concepts have to be fulfilled, Earlier they used to be fulfilled by the kings. Kings used to feed the people, those who were not having the food to eat, used to provide shelter places. Now that is to be done by the government. And those who are having money, now different forms of powers have developed, economic powers in the form of multinational corporations and all that. Those companies who are having the money, or those business houses having the money, should discharge this obligation. Socio-economic emancipation of the class who lacks the basic necessities of the life even at present.
You mentioned that the theme of this year is dignity, freedom and justice for all. And on December 10, 2023, the world will commemorate the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In light of this upcoming milestone, a year-long campaign has been launched. So what all is going to be on the anvil?
This is the 75th year start of initiation of that. 1948 if we count from 10 December. So that year will be concluding on next 2023.
Right.
But this 75th year has started today. If we count from 70, be that as it may. Question is that this is Amrit Kal for this, and this slogan given is quite important, and justice for all is not just a one-line concept. It goes to the very root of the every system, wherever who is denied of equal justice, who is not having means of justice, those who are not aware of their rights, those who are not those are still vulnerable, or we have not been able to trickle down the benefit of the socio-economic measures or social welfare scheme. They should get it. Last person in the queue should get the fruits which he deserves. There is that class which has been deprived of the socio-economic benefits for centuries. So we have to care for that. This day reminds us of our duty towards all human, irrespective of caste, creed, sex, religion and boundaries world over.
Justice Mishra, the fundamental rights are very clearly laid out. The legal system, the judiciary, the police is there to ensure that your fundamental rights are protected. So why the need to have NHRC?
Actually, NHRC is there for ensuring that there is no violation of the human rights. There is no violation by the police of human rights. There are certain allegations of police excesses or torture or inhuman treatment. We look into all that. Basically, police is there for maintenance of law and order. Judiciary is to ensure the country runs in accordance with the rule of law. It is the government's duty also. We just aid and we just assist all these institutions, even courts, even government, and also we ensure that police meet out human treatment and then all respect human rights of each other by performing their duties in the best of their ability.
So what is the process that NHRC follows, as you mentioned, in the police custody, if there's something not right happening or inhuman treatment being
there is a process laid down by the NHRC itself, and every death in judicial custody or police custody is required to be reported to the National Human Rights Commission within 24 hours. Then we call for requisite documents. There is a list of documents we call for all these documents, and then whenever we receive any complaint of any other physical torture in the police custody, in judicial custody there are no cases of jail torture by the police or the jail staff. Cause of death in judicial custody is mostly due to suicide and then natural causes or inter-se fight between the prisoners. Or in some cases, bizarre incidents are there when some prisoner is taken to the court and out of enemy somebody kills them outside fellows. Or accident takes place, motor accident, when they are being transported. But in the police custody, when number has this, our study done by the Human Rights Commission from 15 to 19 indicates that after we are keeping this vigilant, that may be one of the factors, and we are requiring every intimation to be given, and then we conduct deep investigation into the matters. Number of custodial deaths in police has also gone down. considerably. 26% reduction in police custody death has come down 26%. Then we found that out of 120 deaths, only 3% deaths were due to police torture in police custody. Rest of them were by suicide or by public beatings, etc.
You mentioned so many things that have happened. Are there any instances or the cases that you can elucidate as to, how the intervention by...
We have done, NHRC has done a lot in the field of silicosis. That is those who are working in the mines and all that suffers with the silicosis. Then we have done a lot in NHRC has done the bonded labor matter. And then at presently we are on the mission to improve the conditions of mental hospitals. Out of 43 mental hospitals, we have inspected 43. And unfortunately, the condition is not at all good of the mental hospitals. There are shortage of staff. 20 to 30% staff is working. Doctors are not there. Nurses are not there. And then secondly, what is surprising and shocking is that those patients have cured. They are no more suffering with the mental ailment, but still they are being kept in mental hospital for years together in a very humiliating atmosphere. Their conditions of living in mental hospitals are not good. They are not befitting. Lot of improvement is required. If we cannot do not have the staff to treat them, and when those who have cured are not going back to the society, which is the obligation of the government to send them back to the society under Section 19 of the Mental Health Act 2017. We are doing lot of injustice with these cured patients. They have right to live in the community. They are not being sent on the flimsy reasons, you see. I have talked to them. These patients who have cured want to go back to their houses. They know their addresses, but still they are not being sent. And then we are focusing ourselves on the plight of septic tank workers presently. Safety gears are not being provided by the local bodies to them. Municipalities, municipal corporations and other local bodies, it is a statutory pious obligation upon them to protect the human life you are taking the hazards from these employees. It is their duty to provide them safety gears, to provide lamps, etc. in the sewers and all that, so for detection of poisonous gases. Due to that, these persons are dying in the septic tank and sewers. And then we want mechanical cleaning to be done of these sewers and septic tanks, so human life is not lost in the process.
If a person feels that he needs to lodge a complaint or need a help from NHRC, what does that person need to do? What are the steps?
He can simply post a letter to us. He can come to us. He can file any paper or send online complaint, or any person on his behalf can send simply a complaint to us. No fees is required to be paid for filing a complaint. There is no formality. Simply details have to be given, and then it is entertained and justice is done to the cause.
On Human Rights Day, to discuss the role and significance of the human rights. Thank you so much, Justice ARUN KUMAR MISHRA, Chairperson, National Human Rights Commission, for being with us to discuss the Human Rights Day.
Thank you.
You are listening to an exclusive interview with Justice ARUN Mishra, NHRC Chairperson, on the occasion of Human Rights Day, Dignity, Freedom and Justice for All. The interviewer was Rajesh Lake, AIR correspondent. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsttalks@gmail.com.